So we got the movie The Killer's Game. Feels like an action-adventure comedy movie with hints of romance. That's right, with hints of romance, starring Dave Batista. Usually at this point in the segment in my movie reviews, I would give you a setup and what's going on, like the premise of the film, and give you a little bit explanation. Although I just will say, don't watch the trailers because the trailers gave you so much of the information. They literally ruined the film for you. I never watch trailers for movies that I see in theaters unless I specifically say otherwise, like I did with Speak No Evil. But for this one, I did see the trailers afterwards and I can just see the comments. They ruined the movie. There's no point in seeing the movie. And I do a good agree for this particular movie, for this particular trailer. The trailers give you everything. It's like, what? The narrative beats, the twists and turns that happen in the first 15 minutes, in the next 30 minutes. I'm just like, what happens after that? Let's just say someone gets unfortunate news. How do you continue the film like that? And I didn't know that because I was just watching the movie in the first 10 minutes. The doctor says something. I'm like, well, is the movie over? Because there's like another hour and a half left. So please don't watch the trailers for this movie. Talk to me in the review first and then we'll talk about it after. Because I will tell you about this movie without being spoilerish. Because I'm like, what? The trailers just like give you everything. All you need to know is that Dave Batista plays a world-leading top assassin, is being targeted for a contract. But after meeting somebody and hearing some unfortunate news, this could change the fate of his life and things may not go his way for him and his potential partner is what I would say. So we got Dave Batista as one of the world's most leading top assassins, trying to retire, get out of the game as so you wish to speak, when he meets a beautiful, perfect woman and maybe falls in love with her and change the way of his life. But then of course he gets that diagnosis and he wants to potentially go out fighting and see the future to this never-ending saga of The Killer's Game. I've always liked Dave Batista. I found him out in wrestling. I know he hasn't been in the best movies and a lot of people like to refer to him as the B action movie star, or dare I should say the C action movie star. I mean, yes, he does want to be the best. He wants to try to be the best actor that he can be. He said that in various interviews. And if you look at his filmography, I feel like some of the movie hits and some of the movie doesn't hit. But I feel like for him, for this particular movie, I feel like he's kind of finding his genre. I'm like, this is something that I could see him play multiple times over, just of course with different techniques and stuff and different like storylines. But I feel like this is, I don't want to say he belongs there, but he does fit this role perfectly. Sophia is the love interest, to be very honest with you. You probably have recognized her in the recent Star Wars Rebel Moonstar, which that is very divisive, but she's been in various other projects. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but I would be doing a disservice. She just feels like she's there to be like the love interest. Yeah, she has things going on, but I feel like the trailers, after I've seen them, after I watched the movie, make you to believe that she's sort of in on it. I mean, yeah, kind of, but not to the extent of the trailers want to make you out to believe. She does feel like this fish out of water, especially as the ramp of the action gets going. But at the end of the day, she just like, it feels like the movie just tipped their toe in the water, like, oh, let's try this with her. Let's just try this with her, but let's not fully commit to this role that's been given her. I mean, yeah, she's there, she's cool, she's sexy, but it's like, does she get to do more? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, to be very honest with you, this movie is kind of fun, but it's also dumb action adventure with somewhat of a generic structure. But some of the things are cool, as which we'll discuss, but it's a good time to watch. It's not going to blow you away or anything, but I had a nice time in theaters watching this. Palm Clementine is in this movie. If you know anything about her and Batista have great chemistry. Of course, they have worked together in various years in various projects such as Guardians of the Galaxy. If you still don't know who I'm talking about, when I first saw her in the screen, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Mantis. And yes, that's Mantis. She kind of feels the antagonist role. I guess something happened in their past and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a contract and it's gonna start at 2 million, and if you keep staying alive, I'm gonna expand it and give you higher numbers for people to come get you. I'm just like, wow. And she does have quickie one-liners, you know. I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cool because she says, you make me wet.
Get me wet.
Whatever turns you on.
And I'm like, what? And yeah, it had me and like the theater members laughing. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because it's like out of left field for her to say that. I'm just like, I've only seen her as Mantis and like other small projects. I'm like, wow, she is like having a good time in this role. You know, she's doing something different. So I'm like, cool. Ben Kingsley is also in this movie, and I feel like he's used sparingly. He does have a lot to do, especially as the movie ramps up, and adds a little bit of flavor to the Batista's one-dimensional character, especially in the beginning of the movie. But things, of course, change after that. As the movie ramps up, the girl gets impatient. She's like, she needs to send more agents. That's why you've been seeing a lot of character posters with different colors, because as the bounty gets higher, he doesn't get killed. So she sends out different forces guys, she calls in different people, she starts negotiating things, and that's why you see the people coming to try to kill him in different points of the movie. One thing that I really liked and I thought it was cool is the different enemies that come at him, but the way they're introduced, such as various musics, different fighting styles. Like we get this Korean group, we get this single guy, we get this duo girls, and sometimes they're in trios, quads, singles, or doubles. But one thing that the movie does kind of clever, probably to save on budget, is the cool and creative camera cuts. Let's just say he's shooting a gun or he's taking a toast, and then it's like a gun pointing up that way. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know? And every time these new characters get introduced at different points of the movie, like I told you, it's with the music, the camera cuts, the way the different fighting styles. Although, to be very honest with you, it does kind of feel like should I say, they're written by AI. I'm like, dude, it kind of feels like generic and formulaic. I'm like, oh, this is just some random people to get like beat up. Although I did like the Asian group a lot, and of course Botas. Botas is like this Mexican fighter with like Mexican music. It's like, un momento por favor, before they even start fighting, and then he starts dancing to Mexican music. I'm like, yeah, that is pretty cool. But it's like maybe 10 minutes of the film. I'm just like, what? But still, it's a fun watch, but it's not like, I'm like, yeah, this is dumb. This is not like going to win any awards. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a C-. This was a fun time to watch, and there's a big divide between the critics and the audience. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.